stay there and enjoy working. All
Mhm.
the things are happening that makes it really easy for everyone to enjoy.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.
They need to have in order to for them to open up, because otherwise they're gonna see an ad in internet, they're gonna disappear on the money or whatever. Not
Yeah.
always happen. I'm not generalizing, but I'm aware that it's a sector of population quite vulnerable, and a wrong decision can wipe them out, and it's sad. And we hear a lot of cases. Well, we hear a lot of cases. We hear a lot about everything. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit more on how people can find the right mentor, the right coach, the right consultant, and this very important stage of their life, that they're gonna turn the gold mine that they're sitting, that they're not even aware of, and actually doing a sustainable way that can actually work for them.
Right. I think it's important to research. There's so much information online, like you said. Um, when we first looked into the company that helped us to pay our house off in 5 to 7 years and save all of that interest, for example, we wanted to see reviews, testimonials, other people that had tried what they were teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not my team, those were things that were important to us. Let's find other people that this actually really worked for, talk to them, get information from them, find out how it would work for us, specifically with calculators and our income and expenses. What does that look like if we do this choice with those teachers and those mentors? What does it look like if we buy that piece of real estate or buy that business? Or so I think a lot of people do this really well. They'll research before and make the decision. And then I think it comes back to our mindset. We have to believe that our choice is the right one, and inside of our heart that is the right one, that will make the real difference of from the gap of where we are to where we want to be. And it doesn't always have to take 20, 25 years. My biggest slowdown, when my children were 3, very small, 25 years ago, that's when we realized that cash flow was so important, because he got a pink slip of paper. That meant that all of our income was gone. And everything I knew how to do
Wow.
would only pay the babysitter. And so we took a journey that I didn't intend, but it became very important because I had to learn how to have, as you said, cash coming in
Every
when I'm
month.
when I'm
If
not
you
doing
have kids, then you need to buy food every month, right? Or you
right.
have to pay
And
mortgage or whatever every month.
we had been paying extra into our mortgage all that
Wow.
time and pay it down. But the bank doesn't care when you don't have money to pay the next house payment. They don't care.
Absolutely.
They're not going to say, "Oh, sorry, you
Well,
lost your job.
yeah,
Now we're
yeah.
now we're not going to charge you a house payment this month." They don't care.
Yeah.
Not that they're trying to be mean. It's
No, this is how it
what,
works.
and so that's why we had to find our teams that would, the house payment that I have right now, whenever I need it, I can take money back in and out with any closing costs or anything. If we had an emergency, a health emergency, a car breaks down or whatever. And that really gave me peace of mind, because I already know how it feels to have 3 little ones standing around you in the kitchen needing to be fed, and to have the job gone without any control, just a layoff, and all of a sudden everything changed for us. I'm
Hmm.
grateful for that now as a blessing, and I hope everyone who ever hears this or talks to you would know that I feel grateful for that, because
Hmm.
I think sometimes the things that we go through are the things that create the why. Why did I need to find cash flowing businesses and real estate and other things that would just provide that income for us? If that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have even looked. And so sometimes I think when we're looking for someone to teach us and help us, we might have several experiences of hard things that create that opportunity, that we can come back and think, all right, why am I doing this? For me, I realized recently that $20 a month pays for education for children who are rescued from slavery, for example.
Oh,
So like
wow.
the cost of pizza for us here changes a life dramatically, and they get education, they get help. $1,000 pays for a heart surgery for a child in Africa, but that's also the yearly salary there. So
Wow.
what if some of the extra income that we create from serving people and helping them find out how to pay their house off or buy a business or real estate or create some kind of a cash kind from some team makes it so someone was able to eat better today or had water or food? Or really, for me, what if there are children all over the world that have a little bit more hope than they had because Anne had more than she needed and she could share? Or because someone thought,
Mm.
well, what if I did have an extra $20 this month to put to work somewhere to make a good difference for people? My friend Naomi, that's her whole mission in life. And she has an organization called charityont.org, and they match every dollar that you put in, and it helps
Oh, wow.
children who need heart surgery. And there's just so many good things that money can do
Absolutely.
in balance. And we're not like, oh no, I got a pink slip. My job just got lost. I don't have any money coming in. That's really hard on a lot of families.
Oh, yeah.
And inflation and
Got
taxes.
them.
Yes. So we want
Uh,
to just provide tools, I think, toolbox that goes, wow, we need to figure out a different way to do it. Like you've been doing for 18 years. That's
kind of
good.
by
I
accident,
that.
kind of by accident, but I manage. I survive. I'm here, so I think if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I think, and some concepts of principles, because the even we have people in corporate that we always said, I always describe them, they are in the golden cage, right? They have this big
Yes.
mansion, they have all these Ferraris, and they have the big house that costs a lot of money, and they're making this corporate a lot of money. And then one day they arrive at work and say, well, you fired. I'm like, what? And then after
Yeah,
6 months, there is no car, there is no house, there is
it's
no this,
gone.
and they haven't being prepared, and now in from that state of desperation to start to reorganize everything,
Yeah.
then is when people even take worse decisions. Okay.
Yeah.
And whether on the other hand, this point that you are that we are raising about buying cash flow businesses,
Yes.
sometimes there are businesses out there that the maybe the family have worked all their life, but the children don't want it. They
Exactly.
just
That is
don't
my
want it.
favorite. I love that.
And then the people that work in the business, they're concerned because, okay, the children doesn't want them.
Yes.
And they're concerned about the clients because they don't want to work anymore in the business, they want to retire. And they're
Right.
concerned, well, this business has been saving the community. Who's going to take over? What they're going to do? How
Right.
they're gonna treat our clients. So um, there are is not even that they don't want to sell it; they want to sell it, but they also want to make sure at least that the brand stay, that the name stay, that
Yeah.
that are, the owner feel the same values. For example, something that you're sharing from this podcast, we believe all the entrepreneurs have to be wealthy, healthy, and happy, but also to have sense of social responsibility. You mean you can do good and make money at the
Yes.
same time, and then if you have those values in your business, at least donate a little bit of charity or helping a little bit of the community, or maybe
Yeah.
feed few children, or
Something.
whatever you're doing, or giving away
Mhm.
clothes, whatever you're doing with your little business. That's some values that you have intrinsic to your product, and then somebody
Yeah.
comes and buy it, and they have completely different values, and the whole essence of the business get destroyed. Where I
Yeah.
think that those owners, they will be even more inclined to sell it to you at a very good price, at the discounted price, if you keep the values, if you keep the brand, if you keep
Yeah.
certain parameters, because at the end of the day, they don't want it, the children don't want it, and the businesses stay there, and it's a lots of them close. Can you believe this?
Yeah. Right. But the
Unbelievable. With
employees
the
need it.
database, is absolutely the employees need it, the community need it, everybody need it, and with the database full of clients operating for 20 years, and they close down and creating a negative impact. So,
Yeah.
how is that easy to find those businesses? Did all of them work? You're talking about something very important, cash flow businesses. A lot of business out there,
Yes.
they're really generating cash flow, what we call it, this passive income. I'm very aware that property is very good vehicle. This is my first business was in property. We managed to sell over 5 million. So we know by fact that property could be one great vehicle that if you move your things
Yes.
around can produce you this
Mm-hmm.
almost passive income, just
That's
when
right.
they get empty once a year and then they stay and rent that thing and then you pay your mortgage, you have an extra, things like that. And there are other vehicles or big cash flow businesses, the same thing. If there are all the system and process are in place and the
Yeah.
balance sheet looks
Yes.
good, that's it. It's just operating the business.
Yeah.
So, Ann, tell us, is that difficult to find those business that they're about to close, and the people that you helping them? How is the journey for them to start in the new mindset that they're not gonna be employees anymore? They're gonna be business operators. What that means is you're gonna share with them, look, this is the KPI, this is the marketing strategy, everything is working. All we need to do is keep doing the same thing. You don't
That's
even
right.
need to create something new. Your employees will do it for you, and then you test in a small scale, and they become business operators. They can own a business that generate cash flow, which is the
Mm-hmm.
brilliant thing, and they can be traveling or doing whatever they want, and the business can operate in autopilot. So it have been already setting up. So how
That's
difficult
right.
is to find those business that they are about to close and they are for sale, and how difficult or how is to open the mindset to the circular possibility
Yes.
that people in corporate or people that they at the end of the working career they're gonna become business operator. They're gonna
Yeah.
have cash flow that they never probably
Right.
they never have in their own life without literally doing very little. So
Right.
how is the process?
It can be very easy to find them. What you want is the right kind of business that's a little bit recession resistant in an industry that people always need. Whether the economy is up or down, doesn't matter. The business will still be doing really well. So, like you said, we try to choose businesses that are 15 or 20 years old. I have it that helps me to make sure that all of those processes you mentioned are in place so that after we purchase them, the previous owner knows that we're going to carry on what's already been happening. But for me, as the investor or the business owner, I just need to spend an hour a week with the management team, and they already know everything that needs to happen to create that income. Like you said about the rent real estate, if you have good teams in place and systems, then it doesn't have to be another job that you spend 60, 80 hours a week working on to have that income for your family. I don't think people job, they just need to find opportunity to have a team to help them find those businesses that the owners don't want anymore for whatever reason.
And if they are discounted, even
They
better.
Yes, right. You're exactly right. Sometimes they are, and mostly it's a really fun detective mystery how to put all the pieces together
Find
so
what happened.
the owner wins, the buyer wins, the employees are all happy because they get to stay there and enjoy working. All the things are happening that makes it really easy for everyone to enjoy.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.